Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Decisive podcast series. Today I'm so excited because it's been a long time coming. I have my brother from Chicago. Before we get to him, I want to introduce my sweetheart and my co-host that always makes me even more excited to do the show, Zoe Mazah.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited myself too because we have a very special guest. So tell them about it. I am excited. You got
Okay,
me so excited.
first I want to I want to make some drama out of it. Tonight we have the real one. We have not only a masterful architect that's bringing you, lots of great music and he's really true to the culture. He's straight out of Chi-Town, Chicago. And
Drum roll.
hold on, hold on. And he will let you know. And what I love about him the most, when our first episode a long time ago, he likes to make sure he corrects you when you get things, out of. He's worked so hard to do what he does, and he's worked with some of the greatest, and he represents Chicago at the highest level.
So again, drum roll.
No, not yet. His
Okay.
name is
Drum roll.
K. Alexi Shelby, baby, in the house. There
Building.
he is.
That's what's up.
K. Alexi, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Great, man.
Thank you for
Great.
being here.
Thank you for having me.
We are again excited because you have taken the time to, out of your busy schedule. I know it's a lot going on, and I can see that. And I was really shocked that you would be able to do this with us. I mean, you're someone that breathes the culture. You're someone that you not only breathe the culture, but you spin in it. You've been spinning DJing music for the last, I don't know how long.
Long time.
Long,
Long,
you
long
for
time. I mean,
those, yeah, but
I,
for those that don't have any idea.
I started DJing at like 14, 15, and I just turned 58. So doing this for a long time. You start DJing, for me, started DJing first from my cousin from Mr. Lee, who get busy in Jive Record fame. And so he was doing it. So we were close like brothers. And so I started doing it. And I was like, man. And then once you start playing people's records, some of the records you just start to be, you get that epiphany. You're like, I could have did this. And I really started saying it more and more to myself. And the record that comes to mind the most, I think, when it really hit me, yeah, I'm doing this, was Divine, Jungle Jezebel. Yeah, by Divine. And for those who know the record, know the lyrics to it, and I was just kept saying it to myself. I love the record. I haven't played it in a while, which I think I should, but it's a fun record. But the lyrics on it are just so ridiculous that I was like, I can't believe this is a record. And I like, I could do better than this. I could do it. And, people were like, well, do it then. It came to that. And then it was the pinnacle, the real birth of house music, since Chicago was the Mecca. Let there be no mistake about that. That people were doing it. And out of my sheer arrogance, especially back then, Jesse Saunders, big bro Jesse, did On and On. And I'm like, oh, hell no. If he could do it, I know I could do it then. I know I could do it. So, and then more and more of your friends were doing it. Yeah, you got Marshall Jefferson, who we weren't friends back then, but people who you knew. And if it's somebody who doing it, then shit, you gotta feel like, or you should feel
How
capable.
many how many inspirational names back then that
Oh,
really come to mind? I mean, can you name?
Ron Hardy, uh, big bro Ron, first and foremost, because he would play my stuff, uh, even super young, and me being super young, and he would play it so much that people thought it was his. Like I would bring him stuff, and I was happy. I wouldn't. I remember being on the bus, hearing some kids argue, two guys arguing. I'm talking fierce arguing back and forth about whose track it was, and I'm like, wow. I'm not even about to get in there and say no, it's my track, so they can argue me down and be like, hell no, you just some little dude. It's definitely not yours. But honored to have him play the stuff like that. Farley, Jack Master Funk, who who helped me get out to the masses. Like he loved Essence of a Dream so much that I remember going down to the radio station and he said, "Oh, my little brother KLXC is in the building." He stopped his whole set. He's playing vinyl. And when he stopped it, like we were at his house, but he was on the radio station. So that was crazy to hear him just stop it, go in his crate and look for the record, find it, put it on, and start from the beginning, not in a mix, but just to play the record. And I was like, wow. Yeah, looking back on things like that, or me hanging out at Larry Heard and Robert Owen's house when they were living together, like moments like that, and having Larry Heard take the time to answer all of my questions, no matter how crazy they seem, which is what in turn taught me to do the same. Frankie calming me down off me not feeling like I wasn't getting the recognition that I felt like I should have gotten, and him saying, "Don't worry about it."
How
And
big was that for you?
that was huge because at the end of it, he closed it off before we got off the phone. Well, then we started going back and forth on the internet, texting back and forth. But then he closed it off with saying, "And by the way, I've always been proud of you." So to have somebody
Oh,
like
wow.
that say that just muted everything else because I had opened
I
up a
like that
football
word, muted.
stadium. Yeah, I had opened up a football stadium in Italy. It was televised and everything, and I'm like, nobody. When I posted it on
Must have been MySpace. No, I'm not. Wasn't even
no, no,
there.
no, yeah, no, yeah. No, no, no. And it was beginning of Facebook, when it was brand new, and I didn't want to get on that. But okay, so I get on there, and nobody was like, I think it's surely my peers because I'm representing the culture and my city
Yeah.
more than anybody, I feel. Um, so I'm doing that, and I'm not getting the accolades that I felt I should have got. And so I was really down about that because I'm getting strangers click on, "Oh yeah, thank you. Oh, you did that. That's a great thing you did." And so to not have who I thought should have been clicking on it, and to have Frankie just to the head of the line for sure, he just made it all right. And it made me feel so good that I had screenshot the message, and I look at it every now and then to make myself feel good when I get those moments of doubt or just
To remind yourself,
like,
huh?
yeah, that you're not being heard,
Wow.
because the climate is so
Wow.
political now.
That's
It's
big.
so political, way more than it should be. Like when I see uh, those who didn't put the work in jump to the head of the line.
Right.
I was taught there's a pecking order to this, and I respected that. I'm like, okay, well then, until you get your weight up, then you ask to work with this person. But these days, these kids just reach out, "Hey, can you collab with me?" I'm like, and you've done what? What's the upside of me collaborating with you? And unless you're a young prodigy, which I love to see young people doing it, I love to see women doing it more because it's such a boys' club, it's such a men's thing, even to
Mm-hmm.
this day it is. So to see women do it, they add a whole, for me anyway, I think a different perspective, a whole different approach to the music, be it house or techno or whatever. So I love that. And because I think that's how we last. When you add that element to it, when you add the we-ness of it, the inclusiveness of people who really want to learn, the people who really want to do it, not just pressing a pidgeated button. That's how they did it, or go in there and loop the whole track out and nothing original in the whole deal of it. And now now we added AI to this, so now it's just a whole big thing.
It's just the whole thing now, huh?
Well, I don't mind the AI if you use it like anything else, like a sampler. Like I'm like, if you use it creatively and as a tool, no worries. But for me, that's like the sync button. Like,
Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah. But you know what? AI is one topic for itself. But I wanted to ask
For
you one thing.
sure.
As you said, you had people that really influenced you and really helped you growing,
Yes.
and how much you appreciate this. So for now that you've really made it this far,
Yeah.
you know, how easy would it be for someone to get your help? You just said that, people just reach out, they're trying to do the
Show me, show
shortcut.
me,
But
show
if
me,
someone
show me
come there and
passion.
showed talent,
There you
would you
go.
be like the same open and freely giving?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I do it. I got my inboxes full of young people that I mentor. I mean, I give the help that I was given. I take that into account because I feel it is my job to pass it on, to what we call in the business the worthy. Like you would want to pass it on to those who are going to push the agenda, push the culture forward. Those who understand uh, that you're never going to be bigger than the music. That those
Yes.
who understand that right off the bat, cool.
I
Those who
love
are,
the gratitude attitude in this. I love that because it's really,
I don't know
you've been blessed and you're
any
just
other
passing it
way.
on. Yeah.
I am grateful still to this day. I still am grateful for planes that I get on to go play.
Mm.
I still never get over that. I
Mm.
never get over uh, somebody saying, "Oh my God, you're so and so," like
Yeah.
that.
And
That to
asking for
me,
taking a picture.
man. And I do, and they asked to take a picture. These days, I notice more people like I'm going to say no, and I'm like, I don't know what asshole you went to, and I that's going to say no. But let me let me refrain it because everybody has their days, and some days you just don't feel like taking your picture. You're not feeling your
Yeah.
best, whatever. But I mean, I try to make it as quick as possible. Yeah, let's take the picture, let's do the selfie, whatever. And yeah, no way, because that means a lot to them, and the fact that God willing, this will keep going, where somebody will always want to hear your voice, hear your music, and take a picture with you, video, whatever else. So I mean, it's still on its worst day a good day.
It is. It sure is. I'm loving that.
Listen, you've always let the music do the talking for yourself, right? And right now, beyond all the hype and all this stuff, what's really holding you steady and focused?
Family, my belief. I have a core group of friends that I feel stupid calling them friends because we're like family. Like we call each other a lot, and there are some days when I don't feel like doing it, but there are other days when music is the lifeline. Well, like I watch the news way more than I should. I'm on social media because it's a necessary evil, way more than I should be. Even knowing that it's fake, I get discouraged sometimes by people holding me to the fake standards that's there. What I mean by fake is those numbers are fucking fake with the whole a million followers, like a million people gonna follow you to the party. I let my skill speak for itself with producing and with DJing, for better or for worse. It is such a vulnerable thing to put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to talk shit from the shadows about, oh, that song wasn't this, oh, that track wasn't that. But you're not doing it. You're not doing
Yeah.
it. You're not
I'm
willing to
feeling
put
you.
your,
I'm feeling
yeah,
you.
to put yourself out there. That is a vulnerable thing. And I feel naked as hell out there for each track. And I'm my worst critic. I am my worst critic. So and to put yourself out there like that, I applaud that for these young people. I want them to dig a little deeper. Like I can tell when you just scratch the surface. And if I see something more in you, that is why I'm harder on you, because I believe there's more you can dig deeper, especially with this
I
technology.
can appreciate what you just said too. And some of these, I think some of the, the underground scene, how it just kind of like, takes it takes it's where it was and where it is now, and it's like larger than what we ever dreamed of. Or could you ever have dreamed back then that we would be in 2025 and you'd be playing in stages and
No,
stage? There you go.
no, no. First of all, we were doing it for ourselves. I thought it was as big as the block.
Okay.
You know, this person's doing it. This friend is doing it, and we were happy just at the club with our cassettes in our pockets. play this next, play this next. I did this track, I did this track, I did that track. So by the time I get a call from Japan, which love them to death because they're one of the first people, they're the first people to book me overseas like that. And it was funny because I hung up on the guy like 4 times at least, because I'm thinking it's one of my friends playing around with that voice. And so once I said, okay, I'll give in. What do you want? And he said, we want you to come to Japan and play. And I'm like, why? And he said, because your music is so great. Why? Because for me, it wasn't registering that some place like Japan, with a huge culture, great people, wanted something from me. That I just thinking I was from the block. And the craziest thing is, rest his soul, DJ Funk. I had just got back from Japan playing, and they wanted to book Funk. And he wouldn't get on the plane. DJ
But
Funk.
that's incredible, isn't it?
I know, hold on. So I called him and I'm telling him, I said, yo, man, I heard you're not gonna get on the plane. And he said, yeah, man, they telling me to come over to Tokyo and play. I don't know what they want from me. And I explained to him, I said, they want you to come and do exactly what you do here, except there. And he like, why? And oh my God, I felt so warped, so time machined, because that I'm looking at my own face. I'm hearing my own voice saying exactly the same thing. Why? Because it didn't register that someone would want you to go there. And I'm thinking, what, you got no DJs over there and shit, but you're not thinking about your impact. You still not seeing it.
Okay.
You know, that you're
humble.
touching worlds away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not knowing that your records, because when I'm doing the records and things, it's me just producing. By the way, Funk did get on the plane. He had a great time. It was a great party. It was wonderful. And so I digress to go say that when I'm doing these records, it's just me mostly alone, or it's just me and one of my partners or whatever.
You thought you was doing it for the hood, right?
Well, no. Well, I'm just thinking about the moment. It's in me, so I have to get it out.
Okay.
And then I go from, I can't wait for my friends to hear this, because I'm thinking it's
dope.
just
That's
us.
That's it.
And we did it for each other. We didn't know about. We
fire.
didn't even get that other cities were doing it.
That's fire.
And we didn't put that together either. And then the more and more you branch out, and then we didn't get that other ethnicities were doing it. We thinking this is a black thing. We doing this, and then but to hear like different cultures doing it, different ethnicities doing it, and bringing their perspective to it was a wild thing in itself. To have that happen. So it's been a wonderful ride that I still never get used to any of that.
I learned that you are from Chicago, right? I have never been to Chicago before. I've been to New York, I've been to LA, I've been to
Jamaica,
Kansas City, and all kind of different places, but I've never been
and you haven't been to Chicago.
Yeah, my mom used to live in Kansas City, so that's why
I've been
to Kansas City.
That makes sense.
But I've never been to Chicago. But
missing out.
As far as I can feel that from you and sense that from you, and also what I read about you, is like you're really living this city. You're feeling it. So if I want to go, what would be like the heartbeat of this place? What makes it so special for me to imagine? I've never been there. I've really traveled many parts of the world, but I've never been to Chicago. Why would I want to go?
Because it is the culture alone of other cities. We are a big melting pot of I was telling some people that when I played in Poland, and I was just down about at least the part that I was in, it's 13, this place, on how it looked. And then I thought back to Chicago about how we have a huge Polish community, thriving Polish community. We have a thriving Italian community. We have people here from all over. Chinatown is huge. So when I think about that, and then finding out that Paris is our sister city. So people from all over, come here, and our food is another catch to get here. People think that we don't have lakes, that we don't have beach. I guess because of the map and everything. The Europeans, that's one of the things that people think. So it is one of those things that you need to cross off your list. Treat yourself and come here, especially. Hold on, have you been to Detroit?
No, I haven't been to
Okay, I
Detroit
don't feel so
either.
bad.
I've been to
What up, though,
Boston
to my
once.
Detroit
What?
people?
What up, though? Straight up. What up, though?
No, but
Detroit.
I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna come and see Chicago and eat a lot of food and listen to
Man,
music.
yeah. We have the festivals, we got the parties, we
I
got
want to get.
And you said it's the mecca for
shopping.
house music.
It's the mecca for music. Period. This is home
Period.
of the blues. We have a huge
Yeah.
gospel scene here. This is a still a music hub here, and you can tell for the most part our style, how we record versus someone else's, and the city has
That's
been
it.
mimicked so much. Like that is one of the parts that I really get angry about, is that people confuse uh I go back and forth from how I want to be diplomatic about things versus
Yeah, but
I'm
I like it when you straight out and
I
raw
know.
and straight up front. I
Then
But
love
I
it
put
get
because
some music
no,
oh
no,
because
no,
yeah.
put some music so nobody can sample
No,
his
no, no,
voice.
no, no. Okay.
uh,
Here's my thing on this, is that uh techno as we know it today uh is not techno like it was back then. What I mean to say is, like, um my people from the D weren't doing it like with the four on the floor in the beginning.
Mm.
Like because it was more what we thought, what people in Chicago thought was more New York b-boy style, which was like Planet Rock and Planet Patrol and all of those songs, which were fantastic songs. You
oh
mean
yeah,
Planet Rock changed the game. Like that really let more black people know, oh shit, we can, we can do this.
expand.
We are doing it.
Yeah, we are
So
doing it.
seeing your own do it is a whole other thing. But I know, having big bro Derek May and Kevin Saunders visit Chicago as much as they did because of family and just to hang and see the scene.
Hmm.
Derek brought a lot of that back to the D. He brought a lot of
Shout out
Chicago
to
back.
Derek. Yeah,
Oh no, for sure, for sure.
Derek
But
May.
like then you started hearing records like, the nude photos, the strings, and you
Strings of
start
life, yeah.
yeah, and you started to hear, man, Chaos, which I thought Derek did that, but I heard that Blake Baxter did Chaos. I've never met him, but I always wanted to meet him and tell him that record is that just, I mean, still to this day, it's for me, it's a modern one, it's a modern wonder. Like that just it's just the epitome of what, for lack of a better term, techno with soul. Like that right there is, I mean, cause for us in Chicago, we weren't doing techno, we were just doing fast house. Like you got acid tracks for
Hmm.
sure, future. You got Robert Amani, Circus Bells. You got me with Mama Dusa and all of
Mama
those
Ducey, I
things.
used to jack
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, and Vertigo and everything. So
Vertigo. Yep.
yeah, so if that's not techno, then what
What
is
is?
it? So when you say
Hmm.
Detroit techno, then I think, well, I know, once again, Europeans did that. They love to put names on things. They love to put tags on things, which is cool if you get the tag right. But we understand the
Mm.
propaganda of why you
Mm.
did what you did, why you came out with the whole Detroit techno thing, like you needed that.
Why
And
would you?
and
Why would they? The question. I'm on that with you too. I think part of it was it for them to be able to know out or describe it, what when they go to a record store or something, to know what.
you just wanted to be involved in something, and you found your niche, you found your contribution, just like all of these new names for something that's already been here. There is no such thing as slap house. There is no such thing as tropical house.
Mm.
Like you renaming something, trying to repackage it. If you get off your ass and put more emphasis on being creative as opposed to this
Putting a
all
name
of
on it.
this
I say,
gloss,
I'll
this,
now
this
get it.
internet shit,
Mm-hmm.
then you would really come up with something. It
Mm-hmm.
is like all of these people looking like DJs as opposed to being one,
Mm-hmm.
with the whole sync button. No real DJ came up with putting a sync button on the damn machine. I mean, god damn, it does this for you already. The
Mm.
CDs helped us not have to carry records from this place to that place. Thank
Yeah,
goodness,
that's true.
because I really hated it. I'm from the wax era. I wish I would go back to people like, oh, you don't play wax. I'm like, I'm playing wax while you were still figuring out what to wear to school. So don't
Exactly.
get in my face about, how it should be this, that, and the other. And besides that, now you're getting charged for how much you bring.
Yeah,
So I'm not, who's paying
yeah,
for
but
that?
we've gotten over that. We've gotten over that whole
Once
thing,
I
right?
once I saw my peers, I saw Frankie twice. I saw him playing
Frank.
CDs, blew my mind. Frankie Knuckles, for those who don't know, I saw him DJ with CD. No, I know. I take that back. I'm sorry. I saw Eric Murillo at a festival we were all at, and his records got stolen, and he showed up with some CDs, and I'm like,
Can you
how's he gonna
imagine? Your
Oh
records.
yeah, but all the records
how,
stolen,
how,
that's a
how's he gonna
nightmare.
play? Well, that was, everybody knows Thiefro, which is Heathrow. Like if you come through London, which you had to back then, your records got stolen. You were lucky to have some. So a lot of records got stolen from from London airports. But yeah, I saw him play with CDs, and I was like, oh my god! And I looked at me carrying those boxes, and I'm like, yeah, I got to make a change. I got to do something different with my life, because Eric's killing it with CDs, and we were all like, well, how's he going to play now? How's he going to do this? And so he played. It was wonderful. Then fast forward, I saw Frankie, big bro Frankie, play, and he had flash drives.
Frankie Knuckles.
Yes, and I'm looking and I'm like, what's he doing? I'm like, what is it?
Frankie Knuckles is a legend.
Even I know
Okay,
him.
good,
Yeah,
We're
see,
really the
even
same. I even heard
good,
those
people
guys
who don't
good,
play.
know that. Yeah.
good,
So I
good.
see him and I say, so let me get this straight. When you stick that in there, the names of the songs and everything you played, because I'm a stickler, I need to know what was going on. And he said, yes.
Cause the labels, right? We
Yeah,
used to the labels, yeah.
it just blows my mind that technology. And I was like, once I saw somebody like him doing that, that was game changing, because now I don't want my CDs anymore. They got dust on them there in the case in the room. And I'm like, I still refer back to him because,
Me too. I don't. Yeah,
yeah,
the change doesn't stop me.
yeah, I love the things that I have on those. But seeing somebody like that is what excited me to be like, he's doing it then. Hell yeah, follow the leader. I'm definitely getting ready to be doing it. It is like, for me, producing and seeing how sampling has become so much better than it used to
Better.
be, that I wonder, and what even the whole CD thing and the whole flash drive, DJing from a flash drive, I can't help but wonder how Ronnie would have been. I can't help but wonder how
Ron Hardy.
Ron Hardy and the late great Dave Mancuso, how he would have been, right now, to have them with the technology. I think it just would have been a huge deal. I think definitely, game changer, pioneers like that, who for me, I just love so much. And the more and more I found out about Dave Mancuso, who ran the Loft, and he ran it his way.
He ran the Loft.
Yeah. So pattern myself after people like that. Free spirits is what I call those people, who not going to be put in a box, who's not going to play this record because it's the in record right now, or who's not going to play it that way. Like Ron would play a record and he just get in the mood. Oh, I feel like playing it backwards. And I feel like playing this acapella over there. That creative.
He actually played it backwards.
Yeah. That creative soul is what I love, is what I pattern myself after. The DJing thing is almost like a God complex. You play fast, they have to dance faster. You play slower, they have to dance slower. You stop the music, they pause.
Yep.
Everybody's clapping, going crazy. They don't know what's going to do going to be next. I love the creativeness of that. And like I said, when I'm DJing, I try to touch everybody in the room. I want everybody to have a good time. I want those people to let go of whatever they might have heard from me and just be surprised. I want to surprise people in the best way possible. I want them to be like, oh my God, I haven't heard this record since I was 10 years old. I had no idea he was going to play that, or what version of it is it of that? That
You know what fascinates me about listening to you is that you are the first DJ person I ever hear talking, right?
About his passion.
No, just makes it feel like people that speak about playing the instrument. As a musician, I hear a lot of musicians speaking about the music and make the sound of the guitar and this and that, whatever.
Yes,
to
me, the turntables are an extension of a DJ like that.
Yeah, but I love hearing that from you. And you said something before when we had our little introduction. You said something that it stick to my mind. Is you said you're reading the floor.
Absolutely.
And I love the expression because it's also, this is like, you seem to be so very connected also to your audience, but in the same way, you must be a very open person, like spiritually and emotionally open to do that. So yeah, you're really giving a lot while you actually put yourself to work.
Absolutely. I've held my residency back at the warehouse on a Sunday night, which I tell you the story about that. They gave it to me actually to fail. Now I won't say to fail, but I would say they definitely didn't know it was going to be as big as it was. Like by the time Rocky Jones from DJ International and Big Bro Joe Smooth, Promised Land, opened up the warehouse. And so I was like, I got to have me a night. We were all excited about the club opening. And so by the time I get down to the meeting with them talking about it, the meeting was over. And I'm like, what the hell? So I get there and I'm like, yo, I said, what night is mine? People getting up laughing. I won't say the names, but some people got up, laughed, and walked out. Rocky still sitting there. He knows how I can be. I can be a little Aries about things. I'll just say that. So he says, all right, Kay, calm down. He said, I said, what nights am I getting? I'm dead ass serious. So he say to me, he says, we got these nights left. He said, we have Sunday, we have a Wednesday, and I think he said a Monday. I'm like, those nights suck ass. Nobody parties on those nights. And so I don't know. He said, well, those are nights I got. And he was getting ready. I said, sit back down. All right, I want Sunday. And as I said, Sunday night, I want Sunday night. I regretted it as soon as I said it, because I'm like, what the fuck made you say Sunday nights for? Nobody party on Sunday night. Everybody going to church and then getting ready for work on a Monday. But that Ariesness, that boldness of me being me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this work. I'm not taking it back now. So, okay, cool. They give me the Sunday night. And that's right after Mike. Mike is doing Saturday nights, Mike Dunn, who was killing it. So now you got to follow Mike.
They wore out, yeah.
Nights, which was Bad Boy Bill and Julian Jumper Perez and all of those guys playing, and DJ Jess playing Friday night. Then you got Mike Dunn playing Saturday, killing it from the rafters, and here come me bringing up the rear on a Sunday night, and I'm like, oh shit, this is serious. And now you playing after the headliners. I'm playing after my another mentor of mine, big bro Mike Dunn, who is the
he playing after mentors.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't think about it like that at the time.
That's like you playing after Bob Marley.
Exactly. I've learned preparation from Mike Dunn because he is the most prepared person I've ever met. Which he's one of the reasons that I still get my set together the night before. Like I got time, I'm sitting around, I'm on Xbox, I'm doing whatever, I'm producing, I'm making music, still not getting my stuff together before the party. And I learned that still. He's prepared, he's super prepared. He's prepared his way. My way came, my way came after that. But he's so, it just that's why you see him doing it, but he's such a professional about it. So okay, I digress. Okay, back to the Sunday nights. I get the Sunday nights going, and it's just incredible. Like Sunday nights became a thing, so much so that the warehouse, our warehouse, had 3 floors. The original warehouse was a juice bar. Our warehouse was a bar, a real club bar. They had 3 floors to it. So it became a big thing. And then Joe Smooth, like, let me get in on this. So he took the basement, and then it's me on the main floor. And I think we just had like whatever going on the 3rd floor. But it became a thing to where like 2 people could play. And then it became such a thing that like when at the end of the night, you turn the lights on and it's still packed. Like people, I mean, we had people come down who didn't even have a ride home. They were like, man, the feeling, like
Y'all got to give me a ride home. Y'all got to
warehouse
give me a
was
lift.
like, yeah, it was unbelievable. And then, right, and they would ask me for a ride home. I'm like, bro, I live across the street. I had got a loft apartment across the street from the club at that time, which,
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Very practical.
no, I tell you that, like the studio was down, the DJ National was down the street. My house was a block on the same block, except across the street, and it was a trifecta. And then the club was right there, which it was great for that moment. But you couldn't have a relationship. I couldn't have a relationship living across the street from a club, the club that I'm the resident of, and it's one of the hottest, if not the hottest. That it was a line to get in, just ridiculous. And we took full advantage. That's when me and Fast Daddy, and I'm younger then, I'm doing crazy stuff. I'm taking full advantage of living across the street from the club. I'm still touring. I'm going back and forth to Japan and other places, still doing Ibiza still back then and everything.
Which is something I wanted to get to, because I mean, you to come from where you come, and now you're still pushing. The question I had is, why do you still push? A lot of people fade out. You keep moving. You starting a label. You dropping new heat. You going to Ibiza now. And what's really keeping you lit right now? What's really keeping you lit?
Music is therapy for me. It is therapeutic. Like music has been there when all physical people have, I won't say let me down, I'll say had their own shit. If you got your
I
own
so
shit,
knew that he was going to say something like this. I'm
yeah.
sorry to cut you, but I
No.
knew that you were going to say something like this, because I felt
Yeah.
that from you. I just loving it. I'm loving it. I really hear you.
Helps that. It always has. And I've learned
a
couple of things from music, that I can't force it, and I'll just stop now. Like sometimes I hear it so clearly that it's not me making it then, it's me recalling what I've been thinking about all day.
Oh, yeah.
So that flows out. Other times, if I feel like I'm really forcing it, I like it becomes so noisy, I can't hear it as clearly as I'd like to then. So I'll postpone it. I'll pause it, come back to it. So that makes it difficult for relationships I've been in, because women who are not in this, or women who are in it, they don't get that I'm trying to get this sample right, or they're like, are you gonna play that same part all day? I'm like, it seems like I'm playing it all day, but I moved on. Don't you hear the end, how I've tailored that, and how I truncated the end? No, you don't.
They don't understand
Yeah.
that.
So I mean, it's a delicate balance to be with one of us, to be with and don't be a DJ and producer, because that makes it really difficult. We don't have a set time on when it's work time. So the delicate dance of being a real producer and a real DJ, minus the sync button, minus your pack of loops when you go into the studio and you got a stack of somebody else's records. I'm about to make me a record with somebody else shit the whole day. So whatever, that's your thing. But what I'm saying is, those of us who really think about melodies, really, and I know who I'm carrying on my shoulders, or should I say, whose shoulders I'm standing on. Like that is what I think about. I can't help but carry that weight with me. I always, for better or for worse, I think about, would Ron play this? Would Larry Heard like this? Would Robert Owens sing on this? I think about, would Frankie play this? Oh man,
big ups to you, man. Really.
So rock this late at night. Even like I got a theory. Now this, I've told him
Wow.
this to Dennis Ferrer. Dennis Ferrer made Hey Hey, one of the biggest records for like 2 years, 2 summers. You can still play that record right now this day. And I said, when I heard that record, I said to myself, I said, he probably did that shit while you was taking a nap, while you were sleeping. He was working up, making shit like Hey Hey. There are no days off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There are no days off. I must keep going. I must. But you can't force it. I love Dennis to death. His production is just ridiculous, and I love. I got a lot of loves for this, for people that you can see their passion. I admire it. I admire my people from the D, fucking Moody, man. His whole stick on how it's his performance. It's not a so much a DJing thing as it is a performance for him. Carl Craig and his remixes. Carl Cox, he and I go way back to me living in London, and coming down, seeing him and Jim Masters and his wife all DJing some little pub. To see, I remember when I first met just so many people that I enjoy. Derek May's passion when he's DJing. To
I,
see to see
He's
that
sweat. Yeah, he's sweat.
the master at
He's
work
yeah,
is
yeah.
is,
He's
is,
working.
is like watching somebody like Jeff Mills, Eddie Folks, or somebody like
They
that.
never
Like
stop
people
working on the
that's
stage.
not
Never.
from Chicago. I enjoy seeing other cities' passion.
But
I
you know what? If it can't be Chicago as a favorite place to play, where would be your favorite? I mean, what has been your favorite place to share your
different,
art?
different. See, okay. I got different reasons for wanting to play different places. Now you have to show your ass if you're playing in a D, because
Mm.
first of all, Chicago versus everybody. We got a little thing versus us in the D. We got a little thing versus us in New York. We got a little thing versus us and just everybody. So when I play in New York, I got a whole thing I got to bring out. And I respect the fact that New York knows. I'm not teaching them so much as I'm showing off. Like, it's different when you're playing a new club in Belgium or something like that, a new club even in Ibiza, like, because it's not so much a place in the know. In Detroit, I gotta show my ass. I gotta represent my city. I gotta show what's up to the D. And plus, I played in front and in back of some of the greats, so I love that I represent my city and this culture, and me as a black man. That just goes without saying, that you carry that with you, and the weight of that, and I love doing it, flowing through it, and making it seem effortless. That I'm making the crowd just go ham, and I love it, love it, love it to death. And the whole traveling thing is just a blessing to be able to do. Like, to be in Ibiza. I had a residency at El Divino. Like, some of you young people probably don't know El Divino, but it's a good residency and stuff. And that was me and my brother DJ Sneak down there having a good time. Angel Morales
Damn.
down there back when you can drink. This was before the whole everybody wanted to take your picture thing. But they probably did it with a camera back then, and so we were just unto ourselves. The DJ Rat Pack, as that was called back then. So, yeah,
Speaking of the festivals, how was for you
mm.
the latest Chicago? Was I think saw Chicago had a festival thing going on, and
We always
also
got
TV. What was that TV? Club TV.
yeah, TV Lounge in
TV.
Detroit. I did Arc Festival last year, which was amazing. Arc Festival is good because, like, I guess any festival, you get to meet a lot of your peers in that setting. You get to hear them, they get to hear you. You trading ideas. You doing side deals of remix work and everything. Photo ops. I used to hate, but I learned now that they're even more important now, because we got some people that aren't here anymore. We've lost some great people for various reasons, we lost Paul Johnson, and that didn't have to happen. Like that was my brother, for real. That old saying, like you never know somebody till you live with them. You never know somebody till you live with them and tour with them. So yeah, having that, and I miss him very much. Just being able to call him and me and him talk about everything and nothing. I miss brother DJ Dion to just be able to call him to talk about everything and nothing. So you take for granted the people that you can call. You can pick up the phone and call now. Like I miss calling Big Frank. I call him, call his house phone, and I don't know anybody else who called him that, Big Frank. So he'd be like, somebody else answer the phone. Who is this? And they say, tell him this K calling for Big Frank, and he'll be like, Big Frank. And he'd say somebody calling for Big Frank, and then Frankie will laugh and pick up the phone. So that whole deal is just like people deserve and need their flowers while they're still here.
Yes, for
All
sure.
talking about somebody how great they were after the fact, all bullshitting, playing their records after the fact.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the death of a good club. Although it's nowhere near as personal, but you do miss good places.
Yeah, for
Places
sure.
how they used to be because it's such bullshit now. This whole fake persona of uh, of it not being about the music as much
Yeah.
and people
Totally
not
get it.
dancing.
Oh,
I started playing fast as I played because of Ron Hardy, because he played fast. So I patted myself after that. I just picked it up. Like I really did pick it up. And so another thing, when I had my residency at the warehouse, I played faster because I don't want you cute. I want your hair fucked up. I want your clothes all sweaty. I want
straight.
one of your shoes you walking on the back of me because they become
I
uncomfortable.
hear you.
I
I
want you
hear
to
you.
Yeah.
party knowing
Come out
you
your
were at
clothes. Let's
the
do
party.
this.
Yes, I want you
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. I love the yelling. I want karaoke moments. I want you singing. I want you to cut loose. I don't want you worrying about how you dance off beat because somebody just suddenly be filming you and now you done got a viral moment for the wrong reasons. Yeah, I want all of that.
Authenticity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
freeness. I want you free
Free.
because
Yeah.
when I was just a kid going to the all right. I see people talk about compilations and things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
yeah,
Matter of
so
fact, just hold that note.
okay.
Somebody in the chat room, Rafaela Saskia asked, "Did you ever want to play in Germany?"
I lived in Germany for 3.5 to 4 years. I was there that long and didn't even know it. And I had my birthday party at Tresor. I was just in Tresor 2 years ago. I played Sisyphus. I played
Okay.
Bergheim. Yeah, yeah.
So you're
I
coming
love
back to Germany?
as soon as they book it. I keep telling
All
people
right.
I'm not Louis Vega, where you could just be like, I think I'll go play in so and so. At least that's in my mind. That's how I see Louis, just pointing at a map. I guess I'll just go play over here. I guess I think I'll go play over here. So I love Louis, and so it is. Yeah, I love the energy of Berlin like that. It's not the same as Frankfurt or any of the other cities that I've played in. Berlin is an energy unto itself. As a matter of fact, my big brother Robert Owens, I talked him into moving there. I talked to my sweetheart Honey Dijon. She talked to me about moving over there. I talked to Jamie 326 about moving to to Europe. Period. Like because he had asked me because I've been gone. I don't just go places to visit. If I like it, I'm staying. When you could do that back then, before you had to have
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
everything, you can skate
Yep.
under the radar, and I did that a lot. So yeah, man, I Berlin has. I love Bergheim because for it has been itself. I used to be able to say I've never been turned away, but now I got that stain on my record because it was me and Felix that got turned away. Which,
Was that Felix the house cat?
yeah, I was
Okay.
happy that when
Oh.
that happened to him, we were at another party. I can't think of the name of the club, but it wasn't the same. So I said, "Man, this place is lame. We should be at Bergheim." And he said, "Yeah, I want to go too. Let's go." So me and him, he packed his stuff, and I think he was leaving like the next day. So he kind of had his luggage with him. So we get to the door of Bergheim, and it was the strangest thing because I had never seen it like that, and there was no line or nothing. I had never seen it like that. Well, there was no line or nothing.
What was this on what is it, Sunday or what?
I don't.
And
I don't care what night it is. I've never seen it without a line.
without a line.
Yes, and
It
so
was
we get
always long,
paid.
yeah.
I'm thinking,
Around the
it
building.
close? Does it close? I've never seen it close. That's another thing. So it was so weird. So we walked the long walk, and we get up there. I can kind of hear music, and the three security guards at the front, and Felix excited because he's never been. I kind of thinking it's a bad idea because now I'm thinking I lived way the fuck out. I didn't live in the center then. And so we thinking about that ride, I got to go way back home. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck ass. This is gonna suck. So we get there and then they're like, no. They just said no. And I was like, cool. And I'm getting ready to walk. He said, what you mean no? And he was really let down because I understand he really wanted to see it. And plus I talked it up. So I felt bad about that. So they said no. And plus, and then he said the cardinal sin. That's right up there with taking a picture. Is he said, do you know who I am? Oh my God, what did he say that for? And I'm just standing on the sideline looking at them, looking at him. I'm not saying shit because I'm just like, wow, this is going from shit to Shinola and shit. So they said, we don't know who you are. And it's funny. Then I started looking at him like I wouldn't have let us in either because he had Louis Vuitton luggage. It's just looking like the epitome of don't let me in. And so we didn't get in. And I was happy. Under my breath, I was happy we didn't get in because I had to take that long train ride out south. Like I said, I wasn't living in the center right then. So we leaving, and I didn't think nothing about it. I finally get home. I wake up, and all hell broke loose because this fool posted, Bergheim people are prejudiced. They don't like black people, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no.
I really woke up, it was gone. But too late. He did that on Twitter. And somebody, like people do when you do salacious,
they copied it.
Like that. Yes, they screenshot that and kept on. Oh man, his management called his ass though and made him take that down. And but it was too late. The cat was out the bag. The rumors, magazines have picked it up, and it was the oddest thing because that's when I learned how wild this industry is because it was like supermodels lying saying that they were with us. I'm like, no, you weren't. I saw them posting saying, yeah, me and Felix and us, our crew got turned away.
Oh boy.
And I'm listening to them retailer stuff like, bitch, you wasn't with us. I said it was just me and him. It was just the two of us. Yet our shame rippled out into the world. So yeah, that was the only time ever getting turned away. And I've showed up there like because I want to keep the party going. It's different me playing because when I'm playing, I'm partying, but that's a different type of party. I go to Bergheim because it's such a circus that I love so much, and you just never know what you're gonna see. It's a wonderful thing, and you meet some wild people. That's where I met Seth Trosler. That's why I met little bro Seth and shit. So, and you see some things that you just I don't know how many times I've been there. I've been there and I'm hanging with the owner. We're at the bar in the panoramic room, right? I swear to God, I've been there many times. But for some reason, while I'm talking to him, I laugh about something and I lean back in a chair. And as I lean back in the chair, along the wall are pictures, I swear to God, of like poster size of assholes. Like literally butt cheek spread ass cracks of assholes. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said, bro, how long? I said, did you just put these up here? Like, nah, they laughing at me because they like, nah, that's been up there. And I'm like, you just don't know what you're going to see when you're there, and I love it. It's just a real ride that I've never been to a place like that.
Another shout out to you from Jackmaster Rob. He's saying he's still celebrating the EP "Feel All Right" on Ellipsia.
Yeah, man. Yeah, many more records to come. I because I'm doing so much. I don't think about those records. Now, that's not to say they all aren't still my children. I love all my babies, But of course, some of them, you do with a purpose, you do with a passion. Other ones I do, and I hope that they'll do well. And some do well, and you just, wow, you didn't expect that. For people to get it, like you do a record and they actually got it. When I did Essence of a Dream, it was, I look back on it with so much love because, for one, it's like many of my records are about real people, real situations. And
Essence from the Dream was back. That was the one recorded back in when?
yeah, many moons ago, because I was still in high school. So,
Yeah.
It must have been
yeah,
nine. It
yeah,
must have been 89. Must have been
it
mid.
was it was on Stride Records, and it
It,
was done about this girl, how I wanted her to be, and all the record almost wasn't going to be. The first time it wasn't going to be was I was up doing the writing the lyrics, and they were giving me a headache because when I do lyrics, it has to be beginning, middle, end, like a song, like a book, should I say, a story, beginning, middle, end. So I'm doing it, and it's giving me a headache. It has to make sense. It has to be sexy, and I'm like, and my cousin called me Lee. He says, "What you doing?" I said, "I was writing this song," and I said, and we laughed, talk. He said, "All right, man, get back to doing the song." I'm like, "Fuck that song, I ain't doing it." He said, "No, get back to doing the song." I hang up the phone. I'm like, "Fuck that song, I ain't doing it." And I thought about it. I gave my word. My word means something to me even now. So I sit down. I finish writing the song. Cool. We get to the studio. We have a little technical problems, but we get through doing the music. And then they say, all right, Kay, good session. We'll see you when you come back. No, fuck that. There are words that go to this song. I have to say them right now. They're like, you don't have time. I said, I need to do this right now. They're like, if you do this, you have to get it right in one take. All right, cool. I pull out my little pad. I go into the booth. They give me the cue. I say the words. I'm saying the words. The music's going. It's a nice little flow. I'm happy because I wrote it that night. I didn't think I was going to get everything right, and I'm reading it, and I'm doing, and I'm looking at their faces, and they like with the strangest looking back at me, and I'm like, this must suck. This song, I'm gonna keep going though, because I wrote this. I'm gonna get it down. So when I finish, they clap and they saying that's the most amazing thing we've ever heard. And I'm like, wow, really? Cool. I'm happy just because I got it off my chest. I have to get it off my chest, just like off of Lisa, those vocals. So cool. I get it done. Cool. I'm happy. It's done. I didn't think much about it after that. I'm thinking, yeah, it's a cool song. I didn't know how it was going to touch people like it did. Like to have people say they made love off that record, or to be with women and they say to me, say the words.
Straight
And I'm
up.
like, what words?
Straight
They're
up.
like the words to the song. And it's not registering because I didn't see myself. Still to this day, I don't see it's not one of those things. Like when I made what we call sex tapes back in the day, in high school, you make sex tape. You got girl come over, sex tape. You got Prince on there. You got some Luther Vandross. You got some Alley Brothers. I didn't put me on there.
Let me hear.
Really. So to meet people who said that to me, that I made love off the record, was just like, I'm thinking, oh, that's a one-off. That's just a freaky couple who didn't, whatever. They love house music. But then when people kept saying, I'm like, this is weird as hell. And then when girls like say the words, I'm like, I don't know. I love you. No, not that. And I'm like, oh, you mean to say the song? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I didn't realize how much it and the girl who, once they found out, I was still in high school, like I said, who I did it about, she was so embarrassed because of what I was saying. Like I said, a golden shower from head to feet, your come about is a tasty treat. I didn't know what a golden shower even was. I just thought it sounded cool.
You know what a golden shower
Yeah.
is? Yeah.
So I say that line. And
Hey,
then I go to her house. And
hey, that's pride, baby. That's pride.
Her mother and father heard the record. Her father loved it because he was a musician. He played horn for Phil Collins. So he loved it, loved the record. He saw the musical of it. But her mom focused on what I was saying, the words, and she just was not having it.
Yeah.
She was. You don't want to hear nobody saying that about your daughter. That was not. Yeah, she was not happy with me at all. But it wasn't so much about her because she couldn't live up to that. It was what I wanted her to be, which is why I talk about it in dream state.
Well, it's inspirational. It's inspirational. Yeah, and it's been flowing to you.
A lot of songs. The song that I have even out now, Flame is about
Oh,
this
LeBron's
model
amazing.
chick
Good for you.
that was on Instagram, and I seen her, and I remember me and one of my friends talking about her, and I was like, Jesus Christ, she's fucking fine as shit. And I'm like, I thought about how she must get told how beautiful she is every day, all day. And I said, so what would you say to somebody who gets told that if that's your first thing you can't help but say? What would you do to say that? So that's when I walked. That's when I wrote the lines and everything about I'm gonna jump in anyways. That's the whole thing about me going into the flame. I never did say anything to her and anything. Like I said, I just use those things as inspiration. It's not so much I'm going to say them. Although along the way, that song it's not out yet, but it's coming. It's done about me and my girl had broke up, and I was, you sit back when it's a bad breakup, you think about what you should have did, what you should have said, and as I'm thinking about what I should have did and what I should have said, as a musician, it start coming like, hey, that'd make a great song.
Of
That's
course,
and
that's how it goes.
that that's how I dull the pain. And
Yeah.
so I started thinking, and I don't write things down anymore. I just turn the mic on and I say what I say. I feel how I feel for
And
the
you
most
said it
part.
before, it's a
Yeah,
therapy in
yeah.
itself. It
Oh, and it
cures.
really
It's just
was.
like, yeah.
And so now, and I got some great remixes from some people uh, on the record, and I'm excited about that. I want that to be the first release on the new label, so I'm excited about that. That I was able to get that off, and I said, because it's hard when you so in this music thing to communicate with real people that are not really in this. I don't think I've ever had a DJ girlfriend that understands you going to this place. And I would like to speak to somebody who has a DJ girlfriend and you all get along great because she does what you do. Like, I would want to know, does that make it easier? Like, how's that work? Like my lady now,
Well,
she's a producer, but that's not the same as being a DJ because the temptation of being a DJ is huge. People, them women
I mean,
or whatever you're into, look at that flyer and they make it a mission to try to do. And plus, a lot of my music is sexual, and it's not fake. Like that's really me.
yeah,
Uh,
but you know what? I'm sorry to cut you, but when you
yeah.
say like a producer or a DJ, right? So the right combination would probably be a musician,
Yes.
like somebody is fronting, someone is a front person. Like me, I'm playing a show, like for example, there's and you go there and you play a show, you don't ever get, you experience the same things. You
Yes, but
don't
the
have, as
thing
you
is,
said,
like,
like the God kind of temptation to feel like you're the master of everything. You don't really have that so much because you're working differently. But for sure, as a songwriter, something I hear every word you're saying.
it's easy to say that you
Yeah.
want to be with that person until you are with that person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I experience the
Because
same.
it's
Yeah.
one of those things that seem fun, but because my music is so sexually charged, it is how I express myself.
Yeah.
I am a sexual being, even not so much the physical of it, the
yeah.
mental of it, and because men, we're mental creatures like that. We for lack of better, I don't know, getting to know you. I
Right.
think we think like that. It is the conquest of it all, and it not even that you're going to act on it because you don't have to act on it. My mind runs wild with just the what ifs. So I feed on that and I let that feed the music on what ifs. What would that be like? I made whole songs now. Now one of my things I do is I'll do a song title and then I work backwards like what would that sound like? I write things down like, oh, that's such a cool title. That's a cool title to a song. Those people are scrolling through Beatport or scrolling through Tracksource or Juno, one of the song titles, along with the name, your name attached to it, make them people stop. Like that's just branding. That's just how it is.
Oh yeah.
I got a song called Anal Probe. Now, I was thinking alien business or whatever else I did with it. Now, other people took that title, and I can't be in your mind. Whatever your mind made it do is whatever your
Right.
mind made it do.
Right.
But yeah, the shock value of it's a good track. It's
I,
a
I
good
must
track.
I must I must say that I was at Blitz on Saturday and heard Laurent play,
Nah,
and he played one of your songs, and your vocals again, they are very sensual, and sometimes they can be quite godly, like in a room. When you're writing, I notice that you have some kind of effects. They can be a distortion, or they could be yeah. The way you do it, like you said, is sexual. It's all, and I've heard at least five of your 6 songs lately, and I was really like going, okay, the right timing of what you're saying is quite amazing. Are you telling your experiences in the club, experiences? Are you writing it for the DJ to
a
understand?
lot of
To
times, yes, but I tell you what though, I also have political songs that speak on the climate.
That's it.
You know, I can't be this skin color and not speak on what the fuck is going on. You know what's happening to us as a people. You know, I can't be this skin color and
Thank you.
not speak on how things are whitewashed,
Thank you.
from the
Yes.
music to the culture to the sound. I can't stand by and let just fake shit fly. And that has rubbed some people the wrong way because I'm difficult like that.
I don't know if that's why that has to be difficult
I was
if
about to
you
say that
address.
because I'm more like the facts because I've been saying
Right.
more and more lately that the facts don't give a shit about your feelings. The facts are just the facts. They don't
Yeah, but
care that
true.
you're hurt by that. They don't care about you don't like it. The facts are the facts. And I've had to correct some people. I've had to correct some people about simple things as Jeff Mills not being from Detroit. Jeff Mills is from Chicago. And people argued me down. Like, are you insane? I posted the video of Jeff saying himself that he's from Chicago. And some people still belief is a powerful thing. And the propaganda wheel that spun that. Like there's a whole video on YouTube where they're talking about Berlin techno scene and they jump over us and go right to Detroit techno scene. And then, but the thumbnail has a picture of Jeff Mills. And I'm like, well, how do you skip over Chicago in this conversation at all? And you got one of us as a thumbnail to make people click on this. That's why I clicked on it in the first place. I thought it was going to be about Jeff and what he does and all of that. So the fact that that happened, I'm like, the facts don't care that you wish Jeff Mills was from Chicago. He's not. He's one of us. He's one of us. You could tell by those drums. Now that's not to say that, like when I say what I say, that shit is facts. But when I say it, it's not to downplay my brothers and sisters because
Exactly.
I miss K Han dearly, who was totally underrated and should have got way
Totally
more.
underrated. Totally underrated. Totally.
Man,
Totally.
that
And then
girl.
they try to recognize them when they're gone, when it's too late.
That's one of my fears. Is that
Crazy.
is that I can see that happening with more people understanding my shit after the fact. That I don't just make house. I don't just make techno. I don't even know what's
Yeah,
going
but
to.
could it be just that one person who you're talking about that has an opinion that their opinion actually means nothing, and they're just somebody tooting their horn and don't want to understand where you don't come from the same cloth.
No, absolutely. But the
You
thing that affects me is when that person is the head of a magazine, is when that
mm.
person, because now their opinion has a megaphone attached to it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but their
yeah.
but their opinion also is broadcasting other like, say for instance, I have nothing against Pride Day. I have nothing
Yeah.
against all of this. So you can make this okay, but when you express how you feel and something that's real to you, they want to twist things around. And I think if you want to get it right, have a conversation about it and stop
Well,
pointing.
agenda is a real thing. I mean, everybody has one. And my agenda
Oh,
is to
agenda. Yeah, agenda.
spread my
That
truth,
changes the whole thing.
my
Agenda. Yeah.
real truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't argue me down about my fucking truth when I was there. You can't argue me down about my fucking truth when my records have dates on them. So motherfucker, you're ridiculous
Yeah.
about
How you
what
gonna
you did,
argue? How you
somebody
gonna
did
argue with?
records.
So what I'm
So
hearing is, how you gonna argue me about my truth?
Well, I don't think there need to be no argument anyways. You know, the truth
well,
is the truth. And the truth
absolutely.
will always come up
Sooner
because
or later.
it's fact. You know, it's
Sooner,
fact.
yeah,
You
sooner.
can be
Exactly.
you can try to fool people, you can try to
Exactly.
blind people, you can try to do all of this, but in the end there are facts. And that is the truth. I can't say like I can have a personal truth. This for sure, because I might
You can
feel
speak
something
on
else
your
like you
opinion,
about the
right?
same.
You can speak on
Exactly.
how it affected you. You can, because our experience is not the same. Like
Exactly.
There it
how I went
is.
to the club, and how disco and house affected me, seeing that crowd, seeing all of those people join together on one accord, and what I would call later on the tribeness of it all, the oneness, to seeing people
Yes.
work and move in unison like that, all on one, unbelievable. And then
Unbelievable.
Yes.
look up top in that booth and see Ron beating it or whatever. Man, I want to be that. I want to be that person that made these people do this. I,
I,
there was no going back. And then to produce, I want to do. Um, my first group ever in was me and my cousin. We had a Risque Rhythm team, which did uh, 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 Chicago Connection, which was the late great Mitch Ball records, which is which is father to uh, Vince Lawrence. So who's claimed the fame on his own. So that right there was a huge deal. You know, that given the opportunity, looking back on some of these labels that I've been on, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be connected, especially Detroit, to be connected to Derek, because at the time when I did that record, that EP, with the Mama Dusa, the Alpha Lisa, and all of that, uh, I didn't want to put it out with somebody in Chicago. I could have done that, but I just wanted to be different. And so my good friend Andre Hallman says, "Hey, I have a friend, he who has a label. He's from Detroit. He comes up to Chicago a lot. I'll introduce you to him. Maybe this could work." Okay, cool. I was happy that it was somebody different, something different. I knew that EP was different. So okay, cool. I meet Derek. He's excited about the record. The record was already done, but he made me come to Detroit anyway. All right, cool. I go to Detroit. I was happy to go someplace. So cool. I go to Detroit, and what I didn't know was you can't bring the tapes back then through the damn metal detector. I didn't know that. So when I did that,
Oh,
the sync tone flew off. By the
oh
time I
no.
got to Detroit, we put it on. Shit was flying all over the place.
Oh no.
So we had to put the record back together as best we could. That got tedious as hell. So I always said there were more lyrics to All for Lisa, but we just didn't bother. And it's still a great record, which meant sidebar that All for Lisa was also done by my girlfriend at the time, Lisa, which wasn't spelled Derek with the crazy spelling. Uh, that was done by a real woman, and she didn't give a shit about that record. She didn't care about. She was into hip hop, but once again, it was in me. I had to get it out, and mission accomplished. So far as that, so it was
So,
funny.
and what happens? I mean,
Mm,
you're speaking so passionately about your music and also how it flows through you. So once you complete a track or a
mm,
tune or a song, and it's still only yours,
yes,
how do you feel this very second when you like, you know, when something is uploaded and you go
it's
from,
funny that
you
you
know,
say that.
release and it's like worldwide? Because this is what happens all the time. You're like, you know, from left to
By the,
right and then it's green and it says worldwide.
by
How
the
does that
time it
feel for
comes
you?
out to that, like the record Flame
Yeah.
the My Jam record that I actually did that record for Moody. The single My Jam is on a compilation coming out with my people on Keep on Dancing. So that's what
A Moody record.
no. My record that I did with Moody on his label, that's this record called
Oh,
Moody.
bet,
So excited about
bet.
that. But the record My Jam was actually, I did that with Moody in mind because he skates and everything. So it's kind of got that
You
old
skate? You
rip.
skate?
I used to, but Moody
Okay,
still skates. So
okay.
I actually did that for him, but he never did hear it, or he never did take it. So good thing
Oh,
that people at Keep On Dancing, Leo and Fanny, they took the record and it worked out well. And big up to them, my Ibiza people. And so they took the record. But by the time the record comes out, for me, it's old as shit. Like for those that know me,
Yeah.
like people like Roy Davis, Joe Smooth, and everybody else, these people know that I'm a workaholic. So by the time you heard that record, even if I sent you something today, by tomorrow I'm already working on something else. So it's like I said, it's therapeutic for me.
Well,
It
but
is.
is it also this fast as
It
you
is.
really transform anything that happened in your life through
It
the
is.
music? Is it that fast? Like you're making a one record, you're making a one track,
I
and this
have
is that fast that you transform
I,
and kind
I
of get
think what
over
it
it?
is I have so much to say, and I just
Yeah.
think of different ways to saying it. If you know, if okay, I've said it this way, or today I was lucky enough to see something beautiful enough to spark that. Cool. Then I work on that. But I have another record that I need to get out called Change, and a few others like that speak on today's climate. My criticism about anything is like you can't be doing this long and not do a record speaking on the current climate. I understand that is my main critique about my brothers and sisters in the ghetto house industry, is that there's only so much fucking and sucking that you can do records like that. So I'm gonna need you to do records about the plight of our people and what's going on. I'm gonna need you
Yeah.
to touch that side as well as everything else. Then you can go back to that. But I'm thinking you don't want to look back at your career when what happened to George Floyd, when what happened to America's immigration. I won't even call it a policy. I'll say sham that that's going on now. This Gestapo way of just nabbing people up off the fucking streets. If music is your thing and you didn't say anything about that at all, I mean, I understand it's kind of escapism as well, but something should be said about it. You have a
Yeah,
platform,
I agree.
say something about that. Say something about injustice on all levels. Say something about these bombings that's going on in countries that never should have happened. Say
Yeah, you've
something
been
about,
given a voice. You've been
yes.
given a voice,
So
so you've
use
got to
that
use
voice.
it.
Use your platform. I'm not saying beat the drum to death. Some people, that's other people's thing. That's their whole thing. But I'm saying it's going to affect you in one way or another. The ripple effect of that will touch you. And so even
Hmm.
us as a people in the States, that kind of say we opt out of helping our brown brothers and sisters not get deported and things like that. Um, there is a double-edged sword to that,
Mm.
because it won't stop with just them. Like once that type of shit get going, then where's it end? Where does that injustice end? So
I have this theory of what I've learned of how people. I mean, I don't want to go into politics and keep it going too long with this, but what I can say I'm saying this because I appreciate it and I love it and I know I feel that it's inevitable. The change will be made with or without them, because if you love somebody, they can be Japanese, Mexican,
absolutely.
you whatever they're talking, whatever, it makes them love them even more. It's bringing them
I've never
even
put
closer together.
a color on who I've loved. Like I've loved. I've been in a relationship. I was younger then, so I didn't really know love
Yeah.
they say when you get older, when you know more, you do better. When you do better, so I'm trying to do better now. You would want to
Yeah, do better.
treat your partner better, so that she can treat you better, she or he can treat you better. It is about loving each other for real, because that is how this thing works. Is that you need that. You
And we
need
know
that
love. We
thing.
know we. I call it a loop.
Mm.
The more we keep, the history has taught us a lot, but the minute we start talking about, you know, why somebody's color and why they're moving them out and all this kind of stuff, it can't be about their color or their nationality. It has to be about something more than that, and it's money, power, and this other stuff. And this
Well, division, division,
that's right, divide and
chaos,
conquer, divide and
and
conquer.
chaos is how they move. Like,
Right,
and I don't want to keep
chaos.
going
Right,
this either because it's a downer.
right.
But
This is just a loop
let's
that we know
let's just
about.
say chaos brings that, breeds that.
That's why I say love. That's why I keep saying that I'm seeing a positive out of that because it's making people from wherever they're coming from, once they meet each other, their hearts come together. And it's just
Yeah,
more of those. It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
more of those than what they can kick out. And I think that that's a great thing. Let me move on to this. Your This is something I have to get into this show because I am so excited for you to be working with. You said you brought it up, the new label, Moody
Yeah.
Man and Carl Craig. Please tell it. Please tell it, because is I hope this is the I hope I'm the first one that you the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
pilot
yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah. Like there's a lot
that's
of
gonna
things.
hear this.
There's
So
a lot
those
of
of you in the chat or just check this out, have a listen.
yeah. There's. I'm blessed to be in these situations. You know what's and when you look up to somebody, when you and you're proud of their accomplishments, and they're looking back at you, calling you legend. I just because I'm funny like that about it, me seeing myself. You know, it, having Jeff Mills call you a legend is just funny. Having to
Funny? What do you mean funny? That's the
because it's
shit.
just
That's
It
just
means
great.
it feels
That's
funny.
that's
it's
okay,
just
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
it's a warm it's a warm and fuzzy feeling to
Yeah,
have
okay, you work so hard. You work so hard
it
for
does
and
not
these guys are like, and
acknowledge
they're on the road, and they're on the road moving around and stuff. And then finally, it got to it got to them at this point in time. I'm just going like, go ahead, man.
no
Good for you.
it is a good thing. I
Good
have
for you.
ancestral rhythms coming out with Carl Craig because he did an edit on it, and I'm like, man, we should put that out. And I said we should put it out on your label. He agreed because the whole track in its entirety has never been uh, on wax. So we're so or just out period. So we're excited about that. The record that I had with Moody on Mahogany, I'm excited about that. It should have came out last year, but it's gonna be out I think this year. So I'm excited about that to work with somebody of his caliber, and that is one of the realest people in this
Ooh,
industry. Like
I'm
that
so
dude
happy for
is
you.
really he. I don't know anybody like him. Like I've been blessed to have some people, mentors slash family people in my life that I don't know anybody. They're one of one. Like they're
Yeah, okay, yeah, I get
like Roy Davis Jr. one of one. Carl Craig, one of one. Even Derek May, one of one. Mike Dunn, one of one. Uh,
straight up.
Glenn Underground, one of one.
Anthony Shake Shakir is one of one.
Yeah. It's like it's just. I'm sure I'm Robert Owens, Larry, all those people, one of one. Robert, just just one of one. Like those people who inspire not just then but now. Marshall Jefferson, one of one. You know, so it's just even Louis and my whole New York family. They have great producers like steel sharpens steel is what we say. So I get inspired by hearing people that take it there. I get inspired when I see women out there really doing it. Like not just because she looks pretty, but that ain't what the fuck is in the front. Like she'll get in your ass behind the turntables. So I love that to see women who really doing it, who didn't get put in that position because they look good. They got put in that position because they can just hang just as much as you can. So I love that. I love seeing young people that have the hunger and the passion for it, that want to get out there and and get things going.
So when do you expect to release the Moody Man and the Carl Craig?
Uh, that's out of my hands.
Okay.
The Moody thing is on Mahogany. That's on his label. Carl Craig thing is on his label. Carl is constantly gone a lot, but the project is damn near done. So we're excited. We're excited about that. I got remix uh, projects that are coming out with DJ Sneak, Roy Davis Jr. I got remix that I did for Felix the House Cat for his label. I'm constantly doing things. Like I said, the Keep on Dancing thing. I'm happy about that track because it came together nicely, and it's really one of those things where like I was a bit bad. I sampled some shit I probably shouldn't have, but it just begged to be done. So, and I love the way it snaps around, like it's just, for lack of a better term or whatever, it's just black. It's just deep, dark, show enough. It's just it's just a groove, and it's a groove and a half. So that's going on. I had actually talked to Seth Traxler. I gotta say their last name because you keep making me say people's last name. I don't say their whole name, but to keep it in context. So that right there, things with him. Actually, another project coming out with Lauren. Got here. Uh, project with him because I sent him something else. Like when I send him stuff, is I just want his opinion. But the fact that he liked it and be like, hey, can I put this out? I wasn't expecting that. So he liked Flame, and to see his face when he's playing it, that's priceless.
I mean,
It's
you,
like me,
you
like
it was
producing it through me,
yeah.
and he understood the assignment, as people say, that he really got it, and that to me as a producer was so satisfying. Was so satisfying because he gets it. He really gets into it. I'm looking at his face. Oh, I love that video, man. It is one of my favorite pieces because now, like, I've started collecting things to remind myself of what I do and why I still do it. So
Yeah, I
that is why
mean,
you screenshot your conversations with Jeff and with all of those people
yeah, I
because
mean
the
these yeah.
accolade it is worth that. Maybe and
These
people are like,
are
oh,
yeah,
you do a
these
book,
are
so yeah, I should do a book and shit. And
that's coming
got
up.
a
These
record
aren't just some random connections, you know. They've
built over
put
time.
built over time. They put in mileage over decades and years, and
Oh,
for
absolutely.
for this to come back around full circle, and your work ethic, what you've learned from your peers, how you were patient and were able to be humble and back up when it's needed, and still go back to the lab when the job wasn't finished. When you riding in your car,
Yeah, man.
listening to you, riding in your car, listening to your songs.
I know I should be paying attention to the road, but that's really when I'm listening to songs and thinking about. And because, like, here's the thing: like, I do so much output is just ridiculous. That like I be in the car, you don't see this part, but I'm screenshotting the song because I forgot all about it. I'm thinking, oh shit, you didn't put this out. You didn't. It's so much that I have to say. It's so much that I've said already that it just haven't echoed to you all yet. Like you don't know nothing about it, and that's why some of the stuff. By the time it get to you, I'm so far beyond that point. I love that the public brings me back to that moment so that I can enjoy it. Because sometimes you can move so fast that you don't enjoy the now. Like I'm trying to teach myself.
We got about 10 more minutes or so. So
And I need to ask something.
Yeah, let me hear that, Zoe. Let me hear you.
As someone with such a bubbling mind, right? You seem to be like always on the go. What kind of makes you really peaceful besides making music? You know, because I know as someone that really have a lot of output myself, there is a point where it kind of gets noisy inside and outside and kind of, too much. What kind of brings you down
My private
besides the
moments, my
music?
private moments with my family.
The family.
Yeah, blood and and non-blood. Like, cause not blood, it just makes family, especially with me. Like some people are so close. Like Roy and I speak damn near daily, and I'm happy to be,
Roy Davis Jr.
yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, Roy Davis, Roy Davis Jr.
Cause
Big
yeah,
up.
you got to say it. You
Well,
put some
yeah,
put some respect on his name, right?
true. Roy has
Yeah,
been
yeah.
huge, and my longtime brother, Jerome Orr. I'm so proud of his accomplishments and what he's done. Louis Green, I'm so proud of his accomplishments on getting his material back with his name on it. He's been misconstrued with he didn't do what he say he did. His somebody else's name. We're not gonna go into that because when he got 10 minutes left, plagiarism. But
Right.
he's getting his due. I love people getting their due. You know, somebody else who I don't think get their due as much is a soft-spoken, real brother, Anthony Nichols. Like, he's one of my oddest, closest friends because we can go months without speaking, but when we do, we're on the phone just talking. So yeah, like those people, just hearing them make music in the background inspires me. If I could just hear just a little bit, I'm like, man, and plus be like, oh, I should be back working. You're right. Like you're working. I should be back working. So that and I'm a huge gamer. So I'm constantly
Are you? Oh
yeah,
God.
oh bro. My lady like you should be asleep, but she know like because that's my real time to myself.
Does that help you in the studio
Yeah.
gaming?
Oh, Marshall Jefferson, big time gamer too. Like he's one of the ones who helped me stay a gamer. Like he's one of the ones who helped me, to do role playing games. He like, KU role playing games is a mind thing, and I got so caught up in the story that I love that. So he taught me that and everything, and so yeah, man, I'm a huge gamer.
Do you have
Huge.
a, do you have a couple of fire off questions at the top of your head?
No, actually, I can so much relate to how you speak. It's like a little uncanny in a way because I always feel I hear myself talking. Especially this thing that is like, it doesn't stop.
It is
And you
refreshing when
speak
you're
to
like,
someone else, it's
somebody
just like
gets it.
you're
Yeah.
already going. So for me, it's like, I don't have any questions. I fully, I fully get the point. I
No, there was
love.
we did this fire off round.
No,
and
but
that would have been
what?
great to give it to him because
Yeah, but the thing is this, what I get, what I sense is
Okay.
this huge humbleness, which I find outstanding.
Yeah.
Because it is outstanding. I've been speaking with a lot of people, meeting a lot of people
and
all
you
over
wonder
the
why
world.
people don't miss
and,
miss that.
And I think this is extraordinary. It's fascinating and makes you so. Well, we spoke about AI before, and it makes you so very human because I don't think an AI is can ever develop this kind of skill and humbleness and feeling, and gratefulness and really being able to transport this is just so very human. The
Well,
passion
and
that
there
speaks
that
through
is the
you.
nail on the head. For all of our flaws, and we have many, that human connection though is what makes us us. So we must
Exactly.
not lose that. We must not lose that.
Yeah, so I really enjoy hearing you speak because I'm learning so much
Yay.
about the
Thank you.
not only the culture. You've been always saying like the culture, but for me it's like the process of how it feels when someone making music with electronical things, because these are machines, but still they are instruments. They became instruments because you make them an instrument.
But
You
I
know?
say the culture as much because we built this. And I have to
Yeah,
let some people know that they're just visitors. Like
yeah.
you're
Yes,
not
but you
one of
are
the
so
That's a
right.
good one.
You
come in
are
here,
so
wipe your
right.
feet off and be respectful. Like don't act like you've been
Exactly.
here the whole time because I've been here the whole time and I ain't see your ass. Although the
I
culture
love
is
you. I love you for that. I love you for
yeah.
your unapologetic attitude because
Yeah,
it's not a he's not cussing at you. He ain't screaming at you. He just
that's what I said
yeah, yeah,
before. The
yeah,
one who rules don't need to scream.
yeah, there.
Yeah, no. I want you to hear me. That's why you can hear me without me yelling. But there will be some decorum in this house of ours, in this community, and so there's room in here for a lot of people. But those of us that built this
Right.
sit different. We don't all sit the same like that. So you will respect the pecking order. You will respect the culture, and stop lying, saying you made some shit that you did not. Like,
Yeah,
knock it off already. Because when you dig deep, you really don't. It's just stop with the fake already. If you put as much into actually doing the shit as opposed to lying about it, you'd be way better. Like I tell people a lot of times to say they were at this party, at that party. I'm like, you know what? If I'm just going to wish something, I wish I was at Woodstock. When you see those videos of Woodstock,
Oh,
they look fun as shit. I've never been to Tomorrowland. I've never been to those festivals like that. I wish I had. I wish I had played it. So I'm like, I hadn't. So when people lie and say they was at this party, that party, and to get some of these people though, I'm like, your math is not mathing. How old are you again?
it's
I'm
not
like,
that. Yeah,
then
it's not adding up.
when did you start? Like, start with a truth of it all. Start with. I think it goes from loving yourself. Like, if a lot of people don't love themselves, and the internet
I
has a
like
lot to
that.
do
I
with that.
like that. I
Yeah,
like
the
that.
internet will make you not loving yourself. It'll have
I
you looking
mean,
at somebody's profile
that's
picture.
you know what for me for me it's the opposite. They're making me love myself because some of these people are.
But you have to be confident in that in the root. A lot of people
Oh
are not.
man,
It's a superficial lifestyle of this. Like, and you wonder, you meet some people in life and they don't look shit like themselves. There's a lot of filter this, filter that. There's nothing wrong with a little filter, but let's not go crazy. Here's my thing with the filter thing. I don't have any, well, I probably got 3 at most baby pictures of myself. So I've never seen, I love those the most. Those that make me, because now I get to imagine what I must have looked like as a child, as a baby. And that just cracks me up. I show those to my mother, and even she gasses off that. And I definitely use it for, I used to dress up a lot. I used to wear suits and everything to school, and I just became so blasé. So I love those two that put a suit on me. And seeing me back in the suit with the app, I'm like, yeah, you might want to get to those functions. So now when me and brother Joe Smooth go to those kind of political functions and things like that, that's not just about the music, but the music culture itself. I try to, flex on people and show me dressed up.
okay, a few more here. Okay, let me talk about one real message. I think this is very nice. Through all the eras and shifts and stories, if you had to leave one no bullshit message for people watching tonight, what would that be?
Respect the culture. Respect who and what came before you. Like that, do everything with respect. Like, even sampling someone else shit, don't go so far as to act like you invented it. Like, come on, man. And do less sampling. Don't make the whole thing because you can sample around something, and that is not it at its core. Make you the core, and the sample just some sprinkles that went on it to accent it, but not the whole thing. Or challenge yourself to do more, to put these breaks and stuff, and stop trying to fool me with sending me these whack ass songs with just loops and all that shit. Don't think that I don't
And
have
AI
any.
voices?
Yeah, that, man. You listen. I one of
AI
my
looks.
one of my young guys though, he did something so creative. We got this song coming out called "We All Jack," and Serious Hood. That's my little brother. Bless his heart. Him and Amanda Moore. Um, his remix stood out the most to me because what he did was he did the music, but then he took my voice, fed it into AI, and it does this whole roster part. And before it got to the roster part, I'm listening to the song. I'm like, I ain't say that. Like, and because I'm so old, I'm still not getting AI what it could do. So I'm like, here's somebody trying to fucking sound like me, like sound like me, but that ain't me. And then he goes into the whole roster part. I'm like, yo, I said that's dope. Like, I wouldn't have embarrassed myself by trying to say it all Rastafari. No, I wouldn't have done that. But the fact that he took that, and he added in there, I told him I love this so much because it's refreshing. It is letting your mind go. And he used it as a tool. He didn't take it and did his whole thing in AI, but he used it too. And I'm proud of him for that. I told him just recently. I'd hit him, call him along because people need to know that, and especially it coming from me since it was my song. I think everybody on the remix project did phenomenal job. So I'm very happy for everyone, but for his the most because he just took it and went beyond with it, which he should have, because I think he's like the youngest one. I think he's the youngest person on it. So that gives me hope for the youth that they're thinking outside the box. And he kept it respectful. For me, he always has. So
No bullshit. Anything else for you, Zoe?
No, I think this was a beautiful message that you just sent out. I really love that you see hope for the youth, as you
yeah,
said, because I think after your career already is like I would even say a lifespan, right? Until till dating is going to
yeah,
continue, you
yeah,
know. I think it's beautiful that you kind of took also the teacher's seed, you know. You feel like a
What you
messenger
were
to
taught,
me,
yeah.
and I think this is how you really do what you're talking about. You're saving the culture because you keep it high, you keep the value high, and
I
I'd
put that
love to
first.
hear and see more people
Absolutely.
putting out this kind of message. I thank you for
Absolutely.
that.
Oh,
And
for
I
sure.
and from my side, I thank you, brother, for from the start being real to me, and I'm glad because I had to learn something from you. I mean, I've had so many brothers to get on the podcast, and I could it's hard to get them to come, and you've always that was a Zoe know it. I was working my ass off for this show to work right, because I know how you are, and I really respect that. I'm a Virgo, so I like my shit tight too. But I really worked hard, and I'm happy that we could have this discussion. And I'm so excited for you to work with Moody Man. These are some of my favorites, and Carl
Oh,
Craig,
yeah, man.
and and
Yeah.
that I see, and I hope we can do this again when you're
Oh no,
also
no, and I'll help connect you to some other people who should do it. Like you should be talking to Robert Owens. You should be talking to
right.
Big Brother Joe Smooth. Hard to lock down Mike Dunn, but you should definitely lock him down. Maurice Joshua, Grammy Award winning Maurice Joshua.
Right.
You should be
And
talking to him.
yeah.
A lot of people. Louis Green. You should be talking to him. Roy Davis Jr. You should be talking to him. Jerome Orr, new old super talent. Serious Hood. Him and you should lock him down. Talk to these people. I'll do what I can to facilitate this because
That'll be awesome because maybe
it needs to be out.
because I was telling Zoe, and I'm glad I brought her on, is because she's in a totally different genre. But me and her have been communicating for how long?
For
For
years, we like,
years.
yeah.
Going to lunch, talking about the culture, talking about different. She's asking me opinion about her new music, and we kind of and we bonded here. So I'm thinking, and I think that your suggestion is valuable, and I'm really open for that. And if you could facilitate that,
Oh
it would
yeah,
be
Keith
it would
Worthy. Yeah, some other people from the D. You need, man. Yeah, you need to. Yeah, some. I will point you in the direction of new and old people, and I'm excited about. I'll say more after I sign the contract, though. Of the new
maybe you could
press man.
maybe you can suggest the YouTube channel and let them
Oh, for
decide
sure.
on their own whether or not it's a valuable thing for them, because for me it would be such I would be so grateful to have them on the show.
Mm.
And again, respect to you and whatever is going on in the future. And I wanted to say this on your for your Bandcamp page. All these songs you have on the Bandcamp page, I was I guess I would like to get. I have to download the whole album. It looks like because you have some stuff that just not released.
Yeah, yeah. Man, if I could put out it all, which I really want to do, so that's why one label isn't going to be enough, which is why I freelance a lot to get my message out, to get these. I can't do it all alone,
There it is.
and because I have to get a new booking agent, because for me trying to do the bookings and do the producing and still come up with all of this shit and still have a life, not impossible but difficult, and things will suffer. Like I don't want that. Like I was fortunate enough to have my son's mother hold me down with watching our son early on in my career. So I knew my son was safe. I knew he was well taken care of. So with worries like that, yeah, you didn't have, that made it easier to be in this country, that country. And my family held me down uh, because they're just real. Like they're like, I'm close to my family. And when I say family, I mean blood and none alike, because I'm old school. Like I'm from the era where we call and do well being checks on people. I text my people just to see how they doing. Well, you good? You all right? I don't like not talking to people for a long time who I care about, because I need to know what's up and shit. But at the same token, I will not be chasing anybody grown. At some point, even still wears out. And if your well being checks are only just one way, you will stop it. So,
With that said, is there any shouts out you want to get out to anybody out
shout
there?
out to you for having me back on. And Z, I got to get up with you. Got to have you playing on something since you classically trained. I want to hear you playing on something. I would love to hear your input on something, and your approach, being a woman
All
and
right.
being on that side of things. Yeah, I got some things that I would instead right. And instead of me using the AI to do it, I would love to hear a
She
real
got a
person.
voice. She got a voice. She got a voice too.
Yeah, okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
by all
yeah,
means,
yeah.
let us collaborate on some things, and to shout out to all my young people out there, and my other people that I haven't collaborated with yet. Oh, and shout out to Chill Radio for me getting down with them, and Easy Mo B, Easy Mo B. Y'all might know him from
TV
producing with
Lounge.
from not from producing with Biggie and Tupac. Like Easy goes way back. So legendary people like that who I'm getting closer to now, versus my people who've always held me down too. Keith Worthy, Mike Dunn, Roy, like I said, Roy,
Shout
and
out to Laurent Garnier and Moody Man and Carl
Lauren.
Craig.
Oh man, Carl, yeah, yeah, Carl and his whole team, and his beautiful wife Haji. Yeah, yeah, man. We were just at Movement, and he invited me to the house, and beautiful family, beautiful people. It was all love. As a people, when we invite somebody to our home, that's a big deal. So to be invited to his house was a big deal. Was a
Cool.
big
With
deal.
that said, everybody, thank you for staying locked in with us to hear the amazing K. Alexi Shelby and my co-host Zoe Mazah. Keep the spirit moving. Keep the music close. If you vibe with this program today, subscribe, hit the like button. You know how we work, and
Yes,
spread the
sir.
news. And we look forward to having on our next episode a young lady from Los Angeles. This is John Tejada's wife.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah, Lynn from Green Galactic. This is Lynn Tejada now. I've known her for many years, and and she has an agency, and she's really also has supported independent artists for the underground scene in the West Coast.
I didn't. I
So,
ain't get down with LA in a minute. So yeah,
with that said, thanks a lot again, and we look forward to hearing more of your music, my friend.
absolutely.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you
It
so much.
was. It was indeed, from me to you guys. Thank you very much.
All right, bro.
Thank you.
Okay, ciao.
Blessings and love.
Okay, ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you for spending time with us. Decisive podcast series live by Roberto Ingram, co-hosted by Zoe Mazah.
We go